Hey, welcome back to the Healthy Living Scottsdale podcast. I'm your host, Coach Zach. I'm here with sweet as candy, Coach Brandy.
Hello, everybody.
And our newest addition to the team, Coach JC Duncan.
Hey.
Welcome.
Thank you.
First podcast ever, I'm guessing.
First podcast ever.
And you're terrified.
A little.
You're going to be fine.
So JC, you're just naturally an extrovert anyway. So
Obviously.
So you fit right in here.
Yeah.
Just this is your natural element.
This is my habitat.
It's funny because I shouldn't say nobody, but at least nobody that we've ever hired is just naturally oh yeah, podcast, awesome, put me on that. It's always what? That's part of my job.
Are you sure you want me here?
Yeah, well, I don't know. We'll see after this episode. All right, guys, it is January 3rd today. So we always record on Tuesdays normally. But January 3rd, the new year is, kicked off. We're rocking and rolling as Legacy. The gym is packed, of course, right? So if you guys haven't gotten started yet with your, fitness routine in 2023, get on it, get with us, and go to legacypersonaltraining.com and, click the link, get started, and we'll rock and roll, do our thing, right? So, all right, we got some good stuff for you today, kicking the year off right. But before we do that, we want to do a client of the week. So, Brandy.
Yes.
This was your choice.
Yeah, I wanted to give a huge shout out to Doug Sash. He works out in the evenings and he's just killing it. He has been so consistent. He's coming in every single day, working hard. He reminds me of what his goals are. Almost every session he comes in, he's just dialed in. He knows what he's working toward. He's starting to see those results and he's feeling really good. And he says it's not easy, but I know, each time I come in, it gets just that little bit easier each time. He's feeling stronger. He's feeling better. And I just give him all the credit for that consistency, which is a huge, huge key to success.
Yeah. I mean, he's just one of those people that you kind of instantly love. I did a consultation with him after he had already started, and we were checking his progress, and I was talking to him and he's like, well, I usually start my morning by drinking an energy drink, and then I switched to Dr. Pepper. And I was like, whoa, okay, we got a long way to go here. And then immediately after we had that conversation, you talked to him, then he was starting to make these changes, yes, right? Which is really, really cool. So that's a good example of somebody going from basically zero to nothing, and then starting to implement steady changes that are sustainable for them. And he's as far on the opposite end of the spectrum as one could be, right? And then now starting to move in the right direction and make the right changes.
He is. Yeah. Go Doug. You're doing great.
Go Doug. Awesome, man. Love having you. So, okay, let's get to our topic, because Doug's actually a good intro for this. We don't choose based off of that. I want to make that clear for when we talk about negative things. We're not picking our client of the week because it applies to him, but in this case it does. So want to talk about why people end up kind of falling off. So this time of year, everybody's motivated to start their new health and fitness routine, their diet, dial it in, whatever it is. And they stick with it if they get started, which some people don't even get started, right? But research shows that usually it's about mid-February when globally people just start to fall off of their new fitness and health routines.
Right.
And so I liken this to an internal thermostat, right? So the human temperature, we're set at 98.6 degrees typically, right? And that's your internal thermostat. And so if you think about a room, you set the thermostat, and then if I, open the windows and it starts to cool off, the temperature might drop 1 or 2 degrees because now there's this, outside influence.
Right.
But eventually the heat's going to kick on and it's just going to bring the temperature right back up to the internal setting,
Right.
whatever the setting is. And that's basically how human beings are designed. We all have like this default temperature, especially when it comes to health and fitness. And so it's like this time of year, there's this motivation, this outside influence. It's like the conditions seem to be kind of right for us to now like maybe increase the temperature a little bit, but then everybody defaults right back to whatever their thermostat is set at.
Right.
And they're not changing the thermostat. And so I'll get your thoughts on that, but then we'll talk about JC. We'll bring you in. We'll bring you. You're sitting there, just looking pretty. We'll give you some actionable steps for actually like internally changing your temperature so that now you operate at a different level and your default settings are different.
Yeah.
Right. So let's talk about this outside influence first, Brandy.
Yeah. So, I mean, as everybody knows, when January 1st comes, everyone is starting to, come up with those New Year's resolutions, right? Asking each other what those New Year's resolutions are. And maybe you're setting one to be more fit. And that might involve working out. It might involve nutrition or both. But the external factors or, whether it's influences from people or, someone in your household or friends or, asking you about those resolutions or goals that you're setting, that's great. And a lot of people do start going to the gym at the beginning of the year. But if you aren't changing your internal or your intrinsic motivation for achieving those goals, then it's going to be really hard to stick to it over the long haul. I mean, you might do really well for the first month or two, but then really sticking to those habits, it's hard. It's very challenging, especially with exercise, because you don't see results right away.
Yeah.
It takes time to see change. And if someone's coming to the gym and after a week or two, you're not seeing those immediate results, compared to the work that you're putting in, then it's easy to fall off. But you have to keep going.
Yeah.
You will see the results, but it takes time.
So I want to come back to that because that's kind of a key component to transforming from the inside out. But JC, I want to bring you into the conversation here and just ask you, you're a fitness coach, right? I mean, that's like what you do and it's who you are. And your internal thermostat is like to be healthy and fit.
Absolutely.
Is there ever a time in your life where that wasn't a part of who you were?
When I was younger, maybe. When I had never even stepped foot in the gym, like I really had no knowledge of it. But I feel like ever since like high school, and I've had like, like you go on Instagram and you see all these like super cool exercises. You have no idea what to do in the gym. Like, you're going to take some of those and then you're just going to gradually like get more interested in fitness. And I feel like ever since then, I've always just had like these little goals for myself that I set every year. And I think that just helps me keep on track. So,
but always been an athlete, right?
Yeah.
So like since
grew up as a soccer player. So.
Grew up as a soccer player, probably played a pretty prominent role in your upbringing,
I'd like
right?
to think so.
A part of your life. And so I'm sure going to practice, being active, fitting in, or working around getting your homework done. Like you're in school, right? You're getting your homework done around having to go to practice and then playing games on the weekends. And there's a big component there of like being in your schedule, built into your schedule. And so it's like, then once you kind of get out of organized sports, it's very natural for fitness, like a fitness routine to kind of take over.
Yeah.
Right. And so that's your internal thermostat, right? Like you have fitness, exercise has always been a part of your life, even if it wasn't in the gym.
Yeah.
It was still this activity. And then you start getting, like you said, kind of spark the interest, right? You see some exercises, you're learning about the gym, you're basically replacing kind of that sport activity that trickles into nutrition, I'm guessing, right? Yeah. And then all of a sudden, here you are as a fitness coach. and it's just like a part of your DNA,
Right.
right? For the majority of our clients, it's not a part of their DNA, right? And so they're always defaulting to like, I'm gonna not go to the gym after work, or I'm not gonna get up early and go to the gym before work. It seems like it's just too difficult. Like there's just too many barriers. We talked about this in the last episode, where it's like you kind of make up problems before they even exist, right? Like, oh, I can't get up early and go to the gym because then I won't be at work on time. Well, like, I'm probably sure there's a solution there. You're just not looking for it.
Right.
Or I can't go to the gym after work because I'm too tired. It's like, okay, well, we'll probably just go, and then, like we'll adapt and work through it. So those types of things, but people always default back into those same like behaviors, right? And so the way that you actually kind of start working towards changing your internal thermostat and becoming like one of us, right, is this transformation from the inside out. In my experience, the only way to do that is by starting with adjusting your routine and your habits. Not easy to start, but right now that spark of motivation is there.
Right.
You can't just change everything all at once. That's the key, right? And so, Brandy, like, you're the nutrition coach.
Yep.
Let's talk about kind of steps for like our approach that we would take with starting to change somebody's behavior and their thermostat just with the nutrition.
With the nutrition?
Yeah.
Yeah. So making it simple and making it easy is key, especially for someone who's just starting out. So you want to make it simple and tackle one thing at a time, and then build upon that one habit. So with nutrition, it might be with just starting to drink more water.
That's perfect.
Right.
That's perfect. That's the place to start, right? Is like, so we'll let the cat out of the bag. We're doing a nutrition challenge coming up in a couple of weeks for the gym, and it's going to be Master Your Morning. And the first thing on the list is like, you wake up and the first thing you do is drink 20 ounces of water.
Yep.
Now let's just nail that.
Yes.
Right? Let's just start there. And that's where most people are failing, is like, I'm going to get healthy and fit. I'm going to set my alarm for 5 a.m., even though I can't get out of bed at 8 right now. Right? I'm going to set my alarm for 5 a.m. I'm going to be up. I'm going to pound a protein shake. I have no idea what kind of protein shake. I'm just going to get the one at, Walmart, whatever. And sorry, Walmart. And then I'm going to, take my vitamins, and I'm going to go to the gym, and I'm going to crush a workout. I have absolutely no idea what to do when I get there, but I'll probably just end up doing the elliptical for like 20 minutes and then, sit in the sauna. I'm not really sure, but I'm going to the gym. I'm going to do it. And then, everything about my life's going to change. I'm going to cut out carbs, no carbs ever, right? And then like day one rolls around, and it's like, oh, I can't get out of bed at 5 a.m. Yeah. I'm used to waking up at 8.
And then everything trickles down from there.
Yes, and that was Monday, and now it's Tuesday, and you're like, oh, I still can't get out of bed. I'll go to the gym after work. Oh, I forgot my gym bag because I'm not prepared. And it's just this snowball effect, right? And so, or even if somebody does make it, they go to the gym, they do the elliptical, they're not sure what else to do. They're like, I feel decent because I burned some calories. And then 2 weeks later, they've seen no results.
Right.
And then they fall off.
Right.
Right. We literally just said, just wake up and drink 20 ounces of water. Like, let's master that one habit for like a week.
Yes.
Then let's add something to it. Right. And we're not going to add something to it that's drastic. Right. It might be drink the 20 ounces of water, and then let's get 30 ounces of protein in,
right?
Or 30 grams of protein, not ounces. Woo. Jason, you ever eat 30 ounces of protein?
Not typically.
Not at one time, right? But then let's get those grams of protein in. Right. Let's master that for a week.
Yep.
Okay. Now we got our hydration and our morning protein in. Now let's add one more thing.
And nail those two things before adding to it. Yeah.
Yes. And don't focus on the end result. I'm going to lose 70 pounds. Yeah, in the course of like a year or longer,
Yeah, it's a process.
It's a process, right? Like, and if I say I'm going to lose 70 pounds and then I do those two things and then the scale doesn't move, or I even might like start working out, my water changes, I'm now taking in more protein and I gain whatever 2 pounds of weight and I don't know if it's muscle or fat or what happened. Now I'm discouraged. I'm like, screw this. Right. I go back to whatever my internal thermostat is set at. And I never made the default settings change. Okay. JC, are you a routine based person?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I would say so.
There was some hesitancy there. You had to think about it. Like, how routine are you? Like, do you have tomorrow mapped out?
No, I have a rough idea of what I'm going to do because it kind of looks like any other day.
Yep.
But I'm not someone who has like a set schedule. I've never been that student that had a planner or anything.
Exactly.
So
exactly. I'm guessing you're the same way, right? Like you probably have a general idea of what you're doing.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
It's habitual.
Yes, it's habitual.
Yeah.
We can get away with that because our internal thermostat is set for health and fitness. If I don't hit my workout at 6 a.m., I'm going to do it at 6 p.m. and I know that's going to happen.
Right.
Because I just adjust. Yeah. That's who I am. As somebody else that's just getting started, that your default settings are not eating healthy, that are not exercising regularly or any healthy routine, you have to set non-negotiables and master your routine.
Yep.
Our transformation program is like, I'm going to build out your perfect day. Here's like first thing you do in the morning when you wake up. Here's the next thing. Here's the next thing. Here's the next thing. And you have to check the boxes. Once you master that, it's so funny because we'll do that for like an initial 9 weeks. At 9 weeks, they're just starting to get the hang of it. Okay, I've got my whole daily routine down. Okay, we're going to stick to this as closely as we possibly can for like the next 6 weeks now. Then, and only then, do we start eliminating check mark items. Now you don't necessarily have to check the box. And then we track, did you do it or did you not do it?
Right.
If they didn't do it, you got to check the box. We're not there yet. But the whole goal is like set the non-negotiables, check the box, do the thing, master it, one thing at a time,
right.
Step by step by step.
Right.
And then once it starts to become habit and habitual, then we can start eliminating the things where you don't have to check the boxes anymore because you're going to do it anyway.
Yeah.
Right? And so that's our DNA.
Yep.
Our whole goal, if you want to be successful, if you're somebody out there who is like, I'm serious about this, I'm committed, like I have to make these changes, I'm just not sure how. I've tried, I've failed before. Then what you have to do is, one, you need to hire us as your coaches, right? But what you have to do is you have to change who you are from the inside out. You have to become somebody that no longer struggles with health and fitness. And the only way to do that is to build the routine and then start stripping it away.
Yeah.
And see if it sticks. And once it sticks, you know you've nailed it.
Yep. That's so important. I think identifying with who you want to be is key and so important. And that's something that that I did years ago. I was like, what type of person or what type of person and mom do I want to be? And I, even without realizing it, I have this like internal conversation with my mom, with myself. I want to be a healthy, fit person and set a good example for my children. And so then I set up, myself with healthy habits that are a reflection of that type of person that I identify with or the type of person that I want to be. Yes. So then when I'm, choosing what I'm going to make for dinner, what type of, meal would a healthy person cook? Or, I want my kids to have healthy habits. So what type of food do I want to prepare to set them up for making those healthy decisions as they get older? So it's really identifying with the type of person that you want to be and then establishing those habits that support that identity.
That's beautiful. Like part of like when I'm doing a transformation program, maybe we'll incorporate this in the challenge. I don't know. One practice that I have people do is what I call the morning mirror. And so as far as I know, it's something I came up with. Maybe there's somebody else that has done it out there, but I'll take credit for this one. Because it's something that I have done in my own life. Every morning, what do? You get ready, right? So it's like you get ready, go in the bathroom, brush your teeth, do your hair, whatever. And you're looking at yourself, but you're not looking at yourself. You're looking at all the things, right? And so I just wanted to build into my routine a moment where I did that, but I did it every day. So brush my teeth, do my hair, pause, look myself in the eyes, and then say, who am I? Who do I want to be? And then what steps am I going to take today to get there? Right? And it's basically the exact same thing you're talking about. We call this normative leverage, right? That's a term of, do my actions align with my beliefs, right? And if they do, that's normative, right? If not, then I have a credibility gap with myself.
Right.
And part of the reason I think why people who are overweight a lot of times are unhappy is because their beliefs do not align with their actions, but they're just not sure how to get there.
Right.
And think about walking around with that in your life every second of every day. Every time you walk past a mirror, being reminded of the fact that what you believe you're incapable of accomplishing, and having to admit that to yourself. That's awful. That's no way to live.
No.
And I would say that it's a personal mission of mine as a coach to, every time I hear that from somebody, to say, let's fix it. That's the last time you need to say that. Now we have to take action and do it. The actions have to align, so let's work on getting there. But that's no way to live, and you're missing out on life, and life is short. So let's go and let's fix this once and for all.
That's right.
That's right. Great job today, JC.
Thank you. You too.
All right, guys, that's all we got for you. If you listen to this and it resonates with you and you are looking for help and you're serious about making a change, go to legacypersonaltraining.com. I'm Coach Zach. We'll be back with you next week with more great stuff.
Thank you so much for listening to the Healthy Living Scottsdale podcast. Do you have a question that you'd like for us to answer live on the podcast? If so, all you need to do is head over to the Apple Podcast app on your iPhone and do 3 simple things. First, leave us a rating and review telling me what you think of the podcast. In that review, ask anything you want related to health, fitness, or nutrition. And if you want a shout out, leave us your Instagram handle or name. That's all you have to do. Then listen to hear your questions answered live on the next Q&A episode.